Today we will do a comparison between two of the greatest skiers of all time, the legendary Dario Cologna from Switzerland and the Norwegian machine Martin Johnsrud Sundby. And here you can see their stats. When I made a video about the all-time greatest, I ranked Dario as number 7 and Martin as number 6. I have created polls on YouTube and on Instagram to see who you would rank higher, and roughly 60% voted for Sundby. These guys are very closely matched, and they also have similar skills and attributes, like the fact that both mastered all techniques. Sundby is 1.5 years older, but despite the age difference, the Swiss reached a higher level and became a star earlier. Before 2010, Sundby didn't have close to the same level of dedication as in the later half of his career, so his results from this period are not representative of his true capabilities. In order to find out who really is the better athlete, why not do a full comparison of their entire careers? I checked all mass starts and individual races from the first time they competed against each other in 2007 to Sundby's final race in 2021. What was really the record between the two? For example, if one guy got a 5th place and the other guy got a 10th place, it counts as a win for the guy with the better result. This is not a comparison of the number of wins, but just a measure of how many times they beat each other. Both the World Cup, Tour de Ski, World Championships, and Olympic Games are included, but handicap starts and sprint races are not. I found a total of 108 mass starts in individual races that both athletes participated in over the 14-year period. Believe it or not, but it turned out to be a draw. Sundby beat Cologna 54 times, and the opposite also happened 54 times. However, if you look at the last 10 years of the period, from the beginning of 2011 to the beginning of 2021, in most instances, Sundby was better. Out of the 76 races, he beat him in 46, while the opposite happened 30 times, which corresponds to a 61 to 39% record. Gold medals. If you look at the total number of individual gold medals from the Olympic Games and the World Championships, Cologna has 5, while Sundby has only 1. So the Swiss must be much better, right? It's not that simple. During Sundby's prime, he basically lost 3 consecutive championships because he got sick, which led him to miss 2 of them. And in one, it was hard to compete for obvious reasons. Still, if you look at the actual number of gold medals, Cologna definitely has the upper hand. The overall World Cup and Tour de Ski. There is some controversy about this subject. Sundby won the overall World Cup 4 times and Cologna won it 3 times, but the Norwegian got disqualified for inhaling too much asthma medicine, which led him to lose both his 2015 Tour de Ski victory and the overall World Cup win the same season. Because Dario was number 2 in the World Cup, he was awarded this victory later. Some people say it doesn't count, and that Sundby should still be perceived as the rightful winner, while others say he deserved to be disqualified. So depending on how you count, they have 3 to 4 victories each. The 50-kilometer in Holmenkollen and World Cup wins. Martin managed to win the race twice in 2016 and 2017, while Dario managed to win the race once in 2018, when he beat Sundby by the smallest margin possible. These guys were never seen as main rivals, but their level was very close at the same time. Cologna has 26 World Cup victories, while Sundby has 30 or 32, depending on your view on the asthma thing. Peak level. An interesting discussion is always, at one given day, which athlete reached the higher level. While impossible to measure precisely, one can always try to estimate based on feel, like how dominant they were versus their competitors, etc. My opinion? The best version of Sundby from somewhere between 2015 to 2017 beats any version of Dario there ever was. There has never been a skier as complete and technically proficient, and around this time his level was just absurd. He won the majority of races, including the Tour de Ski, with a much bigger margin than Dario ever did. Physical attributes. Based on what I've heard on podcasts, it appears that Sundby had a lower VO2 max than Cologna, but as we know, it's not the only factor, and he was able to compensate with an insane utilization rate and a work economy that was unheard of. Physically, they are built quite similar. Although Dario is a couple of inches taller, they were both thick and muscular, and they had many of the same skills, like versatility and a consistent performance over many years. At their best, both were also decent sprinters. But as mentioned, sprint results are not taken into consideration. So what's the verdict? These guys are very closely matched. However, because I consider Sundby's peak to be a little bit higher, I would slightly favor him, and the record between them confirms the fact that, in most instances in the 2010s, he was the better man. Because Sundby wasted a lot of his early years, it took him longer to reach the top. However, when he finally did, I believe he simply reached a higher level, even though the medals don't reflect that. If you disagree with me, I respect that, because one could definitely make an argument for the opposite too. If you enjoyed this type of video, let me know in the comment section down below, and I might do more of them. Thank you, and bye-bye.